Hey guys, for this video I'm just going through some of my home kitchen renovations that we've been doing to our new house. So we have this yucky backsplash up there and we're switching up the backsplash and we're painting the cabinets white with a blue island accent. Shout out to my cousin and her husband who helped with the backsplash. Next project to tackle is the island. I'm painting it a lovely greenish blue color, and my husband helped me put these accents on it with just some trim pieces. I think it is looking really, really good. So the next step I had to do was to sand all the doors and drawer cut faces. So this takes the longest amount of time as prepping, but it's really a critical step. You really need to scratch up that surface and get all the grime off of them so that your paint will stick, your primer and paint will stick nicely. And let me tell you, sanding these doors hurts so much. My arm was killing me by the end of it. And what's funny is when I was done with all this, my husband was like, you know, I have a power sander you could have used. And I was like, what? You've had that this whole time? So if there's any call for me to do this again, I'll make sure to use the power sander that my husband has. So the process that I'm going to be doing for my paint and primer is you tack cloth all the grime off first, and then you're going to go through, you're going to brush on your paint, and then you're going to roll your paint that you brushed on. This, from the videos I watched on YouTube, this workflow was the best way to get a nice smooth door finish. If you're not going the renting the sprayer route. I'm loving how my white doors turned out, and now it's just time to get this island done. I really didn't have to do 2 coats of top coat on these, 2 coats of, not top coat, of primer, because my island color is darker than is a darker color. I could have gotten away with just doing 1 primer, but that's okay. So I'm using my Amazon Prime box, as you can see, as my stand. Now it's time for my color. My color, I'm using Benjamin Moore Advanced Paint. From the videos I watched on YouTube, that was the best paint to use for cabinet doors. And it went on nice and smooth, and it dried nice and flat. You really just have to watch out for any drips you might make when throwing your paint on the sides. Just make sure it's not dripping down around the back. Excuse me, I had a burp. Anyway, so I love how this paint went on nice and smooth. It's looking so great. I always find watching home improvement videos to be relaxing. You also want to make sure that if you get any drips in those, like pools of paint in those corners, just to try to spread them out so that it doesn't dry with a big pool of paint in those corners. So I really improved my workflow during this process of like getting the sides first, pushing all the other paint into the middle, all the excess paint into the middle, and then rolling it all. And you want to be quick about it, otherwise it starts to dry, and then you'll get like you'll see your brush lines in it, and you don't want to see your brush lines. I think one reason someone on YouTube said that to brush and then roll was that when you just roll, sometimes you get lots of air bubbles, and then it just takes time to pop all those. I didn't try it that way, so I don't know if that would have happened to me, but I feel like this was just, you know, the best way to do it. And I also don't like dipping the roller into like the paint pan. I feel like this was just a good way just to, you know, have your paint on the brush, brush it out, then roll it. I think it adds, of course it adds an extra step in there, but you know, what you gonna do for that smooth cabinet door look. Now onto the island. It was really nice breaking up that island into those little bits, because then I didn't have to like go over like the whole thing super quick. I had, you know, nice small areas to work in and kind of like broke it up so nicely. I just did one coat of primer on the island and it worked out really well. I didn't really need to double coat the doors. The paint covered super nicely. I only had to do 2 coats of paint on them instead of the 4 coats of top coat I did on the white. So there were 2 coats of primer on those white cabinets and 4 coats of top coat on the white. It was a lot of paint, and you have to wait for them to dry in between. It took a long time to do the white. This island took me about 3 days to complete, with prepping, sanding, and priming, and then painting. I love this color. It's looking so nice, and it's just brightening up my kitchen area. The countertops are new. We put those in right when we moved in. Before, the countertops were like a brownish yellow color, and everything was just very brown. But it was really nice just to be able to go in and make this kitchen our own. Eventually the rest of the house will get a makeover too, but you gotta focus on one thing at a time. Don't get overwhelmed by doing too much at once. Don't think about everything, just think about the next thing. It really is so pretty. It's looking so nice and good. The last area, and then you're not gonna see it, but I do go over this again with a second coat. And guys, there it is. My kitchen's finished. It turned out so nice. I love my backsplash. Shout out to my cousin and her husband who helped me do that backsplash. It turned out so awesome. Oh, and also shout out to my sister and my mom who helped me paint the white cabinets. That took us a long time to do, and it would have taken me longer if I hadn't had their help. I love my new kitchen, I love the colors, and thanks for watching.